I'm sure we've all got business contacts. We have travelled through several jobs, changed careers, states or countries, but we've still managed to stay in touch. Sometimes, and we still do business together, asking for advice and sharing potential contacts. The best advice I ever got about networking successfully was to forget about business and think about making new friends. If the connection is there between two people, the business part will just happen. I did say earlier that we all network differently, and that's because ultimately we're all different people. And there is no wrong way about networking. But it's not about collecting as many business cards as you can or adding as many contacts into your database and thinking that you've got 500 friends on Facebook or 3,000 new Twitter followers, or that you went to 17 functions last week and you've met 400 people. But where was the real connection in that meeting that you had with those people? Some will tell you that networking is not about talking at all. It's about listening. Yes and no. To have a great conversation, it does take two to tango. You can't just sit there and let someone talk at you because you're not sharing anything about yourself. If you listen and share, you're more likely to develop an ongoing relationship with another person if you can find a way to connect. And you're not going to connect with everybody. But there are times in life when you want to meet particular contacts. Maybe seek out a new career change, find a new customer, or learn something about a particular project, a particular subject. If you have a clear focus about achieving your dreams and personal goals, and realise that to achieve these, you must find the right connection, that's great. And it can greatly assist you in selecting what events you choose to go and what places you put yourself in order to find the right potential contact and the right new people to meet. There's nothing worse than wandering aimlessly around at an event because it's a networking function and you don't know what you're doing there, apart from that you have to network and you have to get as many contacts as you can because you need to network and you don't network enough and But you need to find the and you don't want to be at a function where you've missed out on the countless opportunities to break out of your comfort zone and meet the right people. And that's why it was great today to have the playing card, because it really helped you find somebody to talk to that you hadn't met before. And those sorts of things are brilliant, and networking functions that do that are fantastic. They put you in the right frame of mind to network. If you find networking a challenge, make sure you start by selecting the organised networking events to attend, the ones that have the playing cards and other sorts of group activities. Attend events like award dinners, charity events, networking breakfasts, lunches and dinners, and corporate events like today. They give you an almost structured opportunity to network if you're nervous about networking, and the more you do it, the more relaxed you'll feel. If you can't find suitable events to attend, take the bull by the horns and create your own to meet new people. And recently, the lovely and inspiring Adelaide Hills businesswoman Cherie Sullivan from Utter Delights sent me an invitation to attend a special luncheon with a small group of other businesswomen on International Women's Day. It was fantastic. Cherie wanted to put herself in a room with the people that she invited. She made us feel special and valued, and connected us with the other people around the table. I met some amazingly wonderful women that day that I wouldn't have been able to get in a room with, even with all the events I get invited to. Cherie had specifically picked people to be at that table who she needed to meet for a particular goal and personal dream. And some of those friendships I will foster, and who knows, one connection could lead to another and could help me achieve something great. Or better yet, maybe I was the person that one of the women met that day that I could help her achieve her goals. Two of the titles that are flashed around by business coaches regarding how to become a successful networker is a giver and a connector. When you focus on giving and being helpful to others through networking, the getting will come later. What you put out into the world will eventually come back to you if it's done with honesty and integrity. So by giving of yourself and giving personal information about yourself and giving someone a chance to enjoy themselves and giving another person help and assistance in what they're doing, even if you see them as a competitor, because they may not be a competitor next week and they may not be a competitor in 2 weeks' time or in a year's time, but that connection will still be made. And it can often come back to you in the most unexpected of ways. And a connector will act like a host at every function, even if it's not their function. This is when you're invited to a function and you decide that you're going to be the connector, is that you feel like you're the host of that event and you introduce 2 people to 2 other people who you think could get on well together or have something in common. I know a lot of people, and at most events I will almost know somebody, but I try and ensure that I meet at least a new person at every event. And sometimes, you get comfortable with, oh, I know this person, I haven't seen you for ages, and you sit down and you talk to them, and it's fantastic because you've managed to nurture a relationship that you have started building, but it's important that you still create new ones so that you can then be a connector in introducing somebody to somebody that you know. Sometimes I ensure I do this by approaching the person who's standing by themselves. He or she will welcome your company, even if they don't like you. They will still be grateful that they don't look like a dork anymore. The most successful or cool person, the CEO, the director, the celebrity, whatever it is, whoever that person is, they will still feel dorky if they are the only person in the room standing by themselves. We've all been there, and it's not nice. Anyone that can acknowledge you and start up a conversation automatically relaxes that person, and then you're able to help them on their journey to connect with others. It's then nice to introduce that person to somebody else that you met at that event. I call it passing the baton, or I think of it like that wonderful movie, and it made me cry, called Pay It Forward. Has everyone seen that movie? If you haven't and you need a good cry, watch that and then The Notebook. Oh my God. Right. With a big bucket of marinated chicken wings and a block of chocolate. Excellent. That film, Pay It Forward, made it look so simple to change the world, one favour and one connection at the time. That is what networking is about. I love being a connector, seeing the way to bring 2 people together that I know in business, not for my benefit, for their benefit. How can I help you, help you, help you, help you? And it goes like this. Oh, I know just the person who could help you achieve that. And I know someone you should meet to talk to you about your new whatchamacallit. And I just met somebody who will rock your world. They are addicted to the voice and it's hilarious because they sound just like blah. And I try to remember that most people feel as uncomfortable as networking as many of us do when we walk into a room by ourselves. And when a lot of women in business have to attend events on our own. My husband hates coming to things with me, so I'm forever going to dinners and events by myself. But you have to come to grips with those fears and you have to get on with networking and just do it. But if you change the word networking to making friends, it seems less stressful and less like a KPI. And the truth is, you have to approach people if you want to meet them. You can't sit there waiting for someone to come and introduce themselves to you. And people will be very grateful. Try and look at next time you go to a networking event, that it's your chance to potentially meet the most important person in your world. It's your time to sparkle and shine and make new friends. It's simple, really. Put on a happy face. Remember, business doesn't need to be serious all the time. It's also about having fun. Networking is about making new friends. So here are some points that I'd like to share with you. And I would have loved to have been able to supply this for you all to have it, but I wrote it at 2 o'clock this morning. So if you might want to get out a pen, if you like what I'm saying. If you don't, forget it. We'll talk about it later. So, number 1, people will look forward to seeing you and meeting you if you're energetic, positive and outgoing. Nobody wants to meet a whinger. Nobody wants to meet someone who's boring, and nobody wants to meet anyone who's talking about serious things like the plague the first time you meet them. Number 2, people enjoy doing business with people that they like. I don't like doing business with people that I don't like. And when you own your own business, you get to choose. It's fantastic. if you're in that position. One of the things is that if people will give you work and give you referrals if they like you.